a small, privately owned company with specialists in multi-value technology. And what we're going to talk about here briefly today is the OpenQM product, which is our own multi-value offering. We also work with some of the other vendors that are here with their products, but OpenQM is our own product that as I say, we're going to talk about today. And what I really want to look at here today is a bit about what it is and why perhaps you should be interested in perhaps moving to it along the way. Because we are one of the newer players in the multi-value market, people very often seem to think that therefore we're small, we're not important to the bigger users, and I'm hoping that I can get rid of that perhaps feeling if you have that. What is OpenQM? It is a fully functional multi-value database. I'm not going to go through the architecture of the product here. Your multi-value users, you know what multi-value is about already. But all of the things you would expect from a multi-value product are in OpenQM along the way. All of the things that you would actually expect there. So, okay, as I say, we're a new player in the market, relatively new. What's the history of the product along the way? Well, it isn't as new, perhaps, as you think. It was originally developed back in 1993. And it was developed partly for our own use within the company, and it was also developed for use as an embedded database in applications that we sold, where our customers didn't know that what they bought was a multi-value engine. They bought a product that included this multi-value engine. And perhaps there's some very important point comes out of that. Because we were selling a product where the end user wasn't to know about the database, it means that our system administration had to be very, very small, very little involved. We have users out there who know nothing about databases. They turn on the machine in the morning, they run it through the day, they turn it off at the end of the day. We've developed what we believe to be a very, very low maintenance system along the way. So developed originally in 1993 with various objectives and say mainly for in-house use in embedded database technology. And our first commercial release came out in the middle of 2001. I think it was June 2001 when we launched on Windows, and it was very, very successful. A lot of people took great interest in this product and moved across to it. 2 years later, we launched on Linux. That was at the time Red Hat Linux. We now run on quite a few different Linux releases as well. And shortly after that, we moved to FreeBSD as another platform to go to. I'll admit we don't have many FreeBSD users, but it was an interesting migration to do, take us somewhere very different. Coming forwards a bit from that, just over a year ago, we launched on the Apple Mac, the PowerPC version of the Apple Mac, and interestingly there on the PDA as well. So you could actually have your PDA in your pocket running a multi-value database. Perhaps come back to that in a little while along the way. And in the last 2 weeks, we've launched on the Intel Mac. So now if you have an Intel Mac system, you can actually run a multi-value database on that along the way. So we've got some platforms there. There are other platforms that will appear in the future. We have 2 or 3 running in our own offices that we're waiting yet to get to the point of releasing along the way. So, okay, so why should OpenQM be of interest to you? Because we are one of the newer players in the market, a lot of our users, most of our users, are actually coming to us having migrated from somewhere else, rather than being new users. I will give you some figures in a minute about how many you get from different places. But the reasons to migrate, the reasons why you might think, OpenQM looks interesting to me, perhaps I'll go and look at that. The first thing that attracts people to the OpenQM product is price. We are very, very low cost in this marketplace. That does not mean low quality, okay? Low cost, but the quality is still there. And to put some numbers on that, for 85 euros, I took these prices as being approximate translations based on current exchange rates, but 85 euros per user gives you a permanent license, including free upgrades for 1 year from purchase of that license. Most of our users take an option to say, well, for a little bit more, 25% extra, I will go for 10 years of free upgrades along the way. You're not having to pay a maintenance contract to give you that opportunity to upgrade in the future. We will include that in there. So by comparison to other products, very, very low cost along the way there. And to put that into context, that is under 20% of what you would pay on a 10-year cost of ownership for some of the other products out there. In fact, for one of the products we did the figures for, it's down to about 10% of what you would pay for the other products out there. So that's what attracts people first to QM. But you should never, ever base a migration purely on cost. You want to know that where you've gone to is a good product. It's got a future. It's got the features that you need along the way. So perhaps the second thing that comes in about moving, about migrating here is, well, is it compatible with what I've got at the moment? Is it going to be a major problem moving my application across? Well, we are highly compatible with what we'll call the information style products. Those of you who've been in the multi-value business for many years will perhaps remember Prime Information, PI Open. I was one of the designers of PI Open back in the late 1980s. And because I was one of the designers of that, that was my introduction to the multi-value world, and because also I am the chief product architect for OpenQM, it follows naturally that the basic model would be the same. So we adopted the information style model, the same one that you get with Universe, Unidata, and some of the other products straight out of the box without turning on any options. But for those of you running on PIC style systems, don't want that. I don't want to be information style, I want PIC style. And so we have options to give you compatibility with the PIC style systems, D3, movie-based reality, etc., etc. So we have option systems to enable you to do that. And as a result of these two statements on the board here, it means that migration is usually easy. Now, I'm not going to put a number on that because it will depend on your application. But I was talking to somebody at the Spectrum show this year who said, I've just finished a migration to OpenQM. And I said, how long did it take you? And he said, well, I did it on Thursday afternoon. It was that quick. It was that easy. Now, okay, that perhaps is exceptional, but you should not be looking at a long time, lots of effort to do this. It is a very easy transition, usually along the way, and we will help you do it as well. So compatibility, yes, this should be easy. Existing application and move it across to this new platform. But what about support when you need that help? What about that along the way? Well, the first point, and perhaps it fell out from something I've already said, is there are no mandatory support contracts. You do not pay us a fixed figure every year to have us be available on the end of a phone or whatever. Instead of that, we'll give you 60 days free support from the moment you take out the license. Reasonable support, obviously. We'll give you 60 days of free support. And beyond that, you simply pay for what you use. If you never need support, you never pay us anything beyond the license fee. If you need help, then we have a simple hourly charge along the way there. But strangely, when you put in that sort of system, you say, yes, you pay us for what you really use, we still have customers out there who say, I'm more comfortable with a prepaid contract. I would prefer that. And if that's you, that's fine. We don't mind taking your money and not having you ring us up. That's fine. But prepaid contracts are available. We will come up with something to fit your needs. And in terms of what you get for that support, we pride ourselves on our support turnaround. We typically turn around support calls in a matter of, well, hours, sometimes minutes. And I can honestly say to you that when I set out from the office yesterday lunchtime, there were no open support calls on this product whatsoever. So we clear them out very quickly, the things that come in. We take great pride on our responsiveness. And we get some comments back from users saying, wow, you've responded to my support issue in a matter of minutes, something they're not used to.